We are continuing with our Headhunter process, not build, what am I saying? Too much video games on my mind. The art piece that we're about to create, revolving around a Headhunter on Path of Exile. So last time, what we've done was, oh my god, was a ideation process for the concept and what we wanted to do, how we saw the piece, what were kind of like the main ideas and keywords that we could structure our design around. And we were kind of going through all of that. We also got our visual sort of mood board in terms of certain details, certain references for layouts, perhaps design of certain things and lighting, colors. So what we are starting with today, we're jumping in and we are starting our sculpting process. We're actually going to start making all the pieces that we mentioned here that we wanted to incorporate into the design. So actually, that is one thing I wanted to do is kind of just like write out the things that we need to build ourselves, to sculpt ourselves. So number one would obviously be the Headhunter itself. The Headhunter. Then the statues or rare mobs. Statue slash rares. Then divine orbs. Then some broken weapons. And fallen enemies, i.e. limbs, heads, other parts. Is there anything else? No. Divines, divine orbs, old yellow lone eyes, or power, siphon effect, body parts, cards, broken weapons, a creature, rare monsters. All right. So what I want to start with is this thing. So this is the design that we want to take for the rare mobs, for the statues. They all going to be the same. We're just going to multiply them and have them in sort of a mirrored positions on the design. So we only have to make one of them. We will differentiate them through maybe moving them or posing them in different ways or slightly different ways, so they don't all look like they're copy pasted there or mirrored completely. But that will come later. First, we need to figure out the overall composition. But before that, we need to actually make all the assets first. So, and that's what we're going to do today. we're gonna start making assets. And the first I wanted to, because we do have a like this phenomenal reference that's literally native. It's part of Path of Exile. It's one of the Path of Exile divination cards, and it's related to Headhunter. And there's this monster on it, which is perfect. Like, we can just utilize this design for our artwork. And this is what we're going to sculpt today. This little demon behind the guy. So I'm gonna move this to my other monitor. And here we are in Zbrush now. With a base human model already preloaded. And it's just, you know, we're gonna start sculpting on top of this guy and see where we can get today. Okay. All right. So, again, this is, I have not sculpted this model. It's already pre-built in Zbrush. Zbrush comes with a bunch of, you know, base models already. It just, you know, when I'm not doing anatomy sculpting or anatomy kind of studying, there's no need to start all the way from scratch. You can just load up one of these models, and it's a fantastic base to start building your characters on top of. It just saves a lot of time, you know. But if you want to kind of start all the way from scratch and create anatomy the way you want it from scratch, go ahead. It's just, you know, for me, I don't have anything to prove to myself, or and also I want to kind of, you know, I'm cautious of my time always. So if I have an opportunity to preload certain models, I do that. What I want to start with is fixing the face, because on our reference we have a completely different face, which will resemble more of a skull. So we wanna go down on subdivision levels and then activate Dynamesh. A little bit. So basically, you can't activate Dynamesh if your model, if your tool has more than one subdivision levels. So we're gonna have to, because this model already comes with 3 subdivision levels. What that means is it just subdivides the number of polygons every time to make it smoother, and brings in more detail into the model. So we don't want this amount of polygons right away, because basically what happens is if I start sculpting on top of this, it gets pretty detailed, and I still want to adjust my forms and you know, the anatomy a little bit, and if we go down all the way to 1, this is too little, right? This is just too little polygons. This would be good for when you still figuring out the underlying anatomy and forms of the model. So we're just gonna go to subdivision level 2. This is kind of like a good middle ground. It's not, our strokes are not too detailed, and we can pull our forms if we want to a little bit easier with that amount of polygons. So what we're gonna do now is we need to get rid of the other two subdivisions. So you do delete higher, and then you could do delete lower. And now you just maybe we can do one blur and Dynamesh, and boom. So what Dynamesh does basically, it creates another set of polygons, or rather it recreates the polygonal mesh of your model. It completely retopologizes it in a different way, and you can control the amount of polygons you can get with the resolution. Obviously 400 to me is kind of like that good base amount of polygons if you already have a base model, right? So now if we want to start tweaking it and styling it, we still have enough to pull from, but not too much that it's incredibly difficult to work with forms. So this is, to me, like I always go to either between 300 and 500, and then I do Dynamesh. Or if we want to radically change this model completely again on its own and kind of imitate the first subdivision level that we had in the beginning, we can always change this, and we can go down to whatever, like 124, let's say, and then it just breaks it down. But by doing this, you lose a lot of detail, and you get stuff like this, like for example, all the fingers getting merged because there's just not enough topology or not enough information on the model to be able to split it into all the fingers, so it merges everything together. So we don't want that. That's another important point, like because this model already has fingers, it's a very intricate place on the model, and if we're gonna start subdividing it more, going down in subdivision levels and dropping the polygons, we're gonna start losing a lot of this detail, and I need this detail because I need to have hands on my model, which is why 400 is generally kind of like a good number to have. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's going to be a lot easier for us to kind of bring all these details in, have a little bit more control on the face especially. So the reason why we're using Dynamesh as well is what it does is basically right now you can tell that the topography starts to break a little bit. We don't have enough information in terms of polygon count to be able to kind of stretch them or put all these details in, and they start to break and stretch and whatever, and it starts looking weird like that, very low poly kind of resolution. And with Dynamesh, all we have to do is when it's active already, you just hold control and just drag and release somewhere outside of the model. And it reconstructs it and puts the detail back into the topography. Okay, I think we can work with that. Okay. So the demon on the reference isn't very muscular, and the base anatomy of the demon looks more skeleton-like, or like a malnourished human body. So I'm gonna bring some of our muscles in so that we're not as buff. More lanky, more... We have a lot of spikes on our shoulders, so this should probably come out a little more. Don't really see the bottom half of the body on the drawing, so here's when I'm gonna have to improvise and kind of like come up with my own stuff. I'm trying to think as well about how I'm going to pose these dudes. But before any of that, these are not. This is not a mustache. Relax. This is going to be type of horns that kind of come out. Does look kind of funny. But we'll make it. We'll make it work. Cool. Alright, let's fucking save this. Or it crashes. Okay. What else do we have? We have some horns here. Okay. 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 Now, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do with these motherfuckers? Also just trying to figure out the design, you know? How do we possess? What are those? Are those horns? Are those just bones sticking out, or growths of flesh? Probably horns. Yeah. Yo, what up, Moso? Fucking up. That's better. How's thine week, Moso? How's the capitalism treating you? Ugh. You need to make an ad for your car? Oh yeah! Hey, fuck. You just use ChatGPT for anything nowadays. It's so good. Alright, so how do I do this? You have a very typical understanding of Dubai stereotype. It's not at all the case. Most of Dubai's population just as poor as everybody else's. Me included. However, when it comes to cars, I will say that people change cars like around every 5 years here, because most of the time when you buy a new car, and most of the times people just buy new cars here because of the way kind of the market is, and it's easier to get a mortgage on the car if it's a brand new car from the showroom or whatever. And because of that, you get like a 5-year warranty on the car if it's a brand new car gotten from a showroom. And so once that warranty runs out, people usually just sell the car and go buy a new one with new warranty, and so on and so forth. No, they just go to other people who can't, for example, afford a brand new car. And they, like, that's what happened to my previous car. I sold it to somebody else who wanted a second hand. Or you can sell it to the bank, you can sell it to the showroom. But if you do that, you lose money because they obviously always trying to fuck you over. And if you selling it yourself to somebody else, like without any middle guy, you usually just, you know, get to sell it for a little bit more than what banks or showrooms charge you, or not charge you, but like would give you in that situation. Mr. Black, Habibi! Man, I had pretty good time in KL this morning, actually. But, man, playing against Johnnies and Scorpions as a noob is so fucked. Johnny can just say fuck you to your neutral, and he just, just goes in. Have you tried noob yet? It's like fighting Zhao Yus and Zephina's. I have no idea what or who those characters are. What are you talking about? Just sounds like you made those names up. Nah, man, I don't play Tekken. I went to the event. I went to the showdown because my homie was participating, but I don't play myself. I've been off the last Tekken I played was like Tekken 3, I think. I'm not old. A lot in the tank. So with these horns, I'm kind of just trying to kind of go with the flow and eyeball it and improvise, because obviously we don't have a solid reference of the actual creature or its drawing or whatever. Like, all I have is this, and you don't really see how those horns are, you know, connected to the face or whatever, like what material it is, because usually horns are coming out of the bones, right? Like they just grow out of your bones. And that's kind of like the idea that I have going for them, and then, you know, I'll make a certain separation where they kind of meet the surface and make it look like they're actually growing out of it. Playing Tekken a lot. MK's just not it anymore. Based. That's all I can say. However, I thought you were like you're getting back to it now with the new patch. It's actually, I haven't played MK in 6 months before the DLC came out, and it feels a lot better now. It's a lot more fun, a lot more variety. Horns are not bones, and they're not hardened skin either. They're made of keratin, same material that is that your nails and your hair is made of. So, but they are growing out of your kind of subdermal level of like the layer between skin and bone. Like, how many hours did you sleep today? I'll tell you off. You slept more than 8. Yeah. Uh. Okay, hands. I hate this chin, but in the reference he has a big ass, long ass chin. Oh my god. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna increase the size of his hands. Not because it makes sense anatomically, but because it will make sense stylistically. Because the hands will be very prominent. And, you know, they're demon hands, so who cares? They can be whatever size I want. Yeah, I think we need to kind of need to subdivide it a little bit more. Oh. Subdivide more, maybe. Hands are probably one of my favorite things to sculpt. Next to boobies. Um, we don't want to make it too muscular, obviously, for reasons we've discussed earlier. But we can start adding some of these details without bulking the anatomy up a lot, but, you know, adding stuff like wrinkles and some muscle separations, you know, making them a little bit visible because it is a demon. Probably does not have a lot of subdermal fat. A stringy bitch. Stringy ass demon. Hey. I don't know if I want to worry about the bottom half. Don't know how visible that's gonna be. We'll do this part, I guess. Pelvic muscles gone. Oh fuck, it's starting to remind me of Havoc. Oops. Just giving the horns a little bit more form. So they're not as boring. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. That boy. Looks like he has pigtails now. uh, all right. Just real quick. Okay. I think... It's quite weird. Can... It was here. Hmm. That would be nice for veins. Maybe this, actually. Hell yeah. Oh. Getting. I'm about to make some teeth. To do that, I usually just go append either cylinder or cone. I think I'll do... Actually, I'll do a cube this time. I want them to be kind of... I want them to have... I don't want them to be smooth. I want them to have some surfaces, you know? Edges. So they look rough. Like they're actual, you know, animal teeth or something like that. Not as pristine. I think we'll do maybe like 2 or 3 iterations. Maybe 2. To save some time. Okay, that. Flatten brush is fantastic for something like this. I use it all the time to create like natural stone, rock, teeth. Really good for that. Okay, so let's take a look. Duplicate. We move, or we could just mirror. Again, you cannot mirror if you have subdivision levels. You just delete them and mirror again. Boom. Works like a charm. Again, try to have, you know, don't just mirror, copy paste stuff. Try to move it around a little bit, like tilt it, you know, rotate it, move it in certain directions, maybe adjust it slightly. Stuff like that, especially because otherwise it'll just look weird, you know, it won't look as realistic if it's extremely kind of repetitive. You know what I mean? Like if it's nothing in nature is symmetrical. That's the point. So you want to try to achieve a result where nothing is extremely symmetrical. So even if you, I mean, ideally what you would want to do is you would want to create a separate piece of teeth, I guess, for each and every single tooth, right? But right now I don't want to do that. We don't need to do that. It just takes a lot of time. But if you want extreme kind of attention to detail and realism, you should go that route, right? Because nothing in nature is going to be exactly the same. Like even our teeth, if you really kind of go into the mirror, stand in front of the mirror and look at your teeth, it feels like they look the same, but they aren't actually. And no two teeth in your mouth are going to be exactly symmetrical or the same. And it's that's what kind of gives you an overall realistic picture. Because when you look at something that's supposed to be realistic, or something that's made of nature or whatever, something organic, but then the design elements look exactly the same or exactly symmetrical, it throws the eye off. It makes it look very, very fake immediately. So to kind of squander that a little bit, what you do is, yes, if you're using the same pieces, at least you know, make them bigger, smaller, rotate them, bend them a little bit, and move them around so it's not as apparent. What I'm gonna do right now is, again, I'm gonna iterate it with the second type of tooth. We're not gonna have just all the same pieces on bottom or on the top. I'm gonna like have some of them here, and then gonna bring back another piece and kind of like iterate them that way. Snowflakes are symmetrical, but no two snowflakes are the same. I actually don't know if it's accurate, what you're saying. I have to look it up. Are snowflakes symmetrical? The ice crystals that make up snowflakes are symmetrical or patterned. Okay. Actually didn't know that. All I knew is that no two snowflakes are the same in terms of the pattern, but did not know that the patterns themselves were symmetrical. So that's kind of cool. Junior coming in with that biology knowledge of snowflakes. You guys know surprisingly a lot about snowflakes specifically. What is that about? At this point, that's just common knowledge. It's common knowledge that no snowflake is the same. It's not common knowledge that the patterns are symmetrical. Otherwise, I would know that. Basically, snowflakes are proof that we live in a simulation. True. Big true. What? Oh, yeah, okay. Damn, alright. Bro made some rotten teeth a British monster. Nah, I'll show you British teeth. Hold on, British teeth. It's teeth. Hold on. This is British teeth. Thank you, mate. Can I have some of that bubbling water, please? Thank you very much. Some of that sparkling water. Exactly, man. It all comes from that. They don't have space in their mouths. All right. Looks man-made, and the gaps are so regular in your monster. What do you mean? You saying like there's not enough teeth? I'm filling it up. Hold up. This is why we're creating the second tooth. This is based on Kitava? No, it's based on this divination card. I don't believe this is Kitava. Because they have other divination cards where Kitava is present and it's a different design. Like this one, for example. This is not a divination card, but they, you know, it's a different design. I'm pretty sure they actually have divination cards with Kitava on them, and this is not Kitava. Because it wouldn't make sense also, like lore-wise. Like, why would Kitava be on the Headhunter, you know? I actually read some more lore on it, and Headhunter actually was worn by Kaom. Where are the molars? Yeah, he don't need them. Ain't no molin for this guy. Yuck. Nice. Alright. It is a demon after all. The teeth are just for show. Alright, last one. Oh shit, not last one. We also have the fucking upper jaw. But damn, that looks so good. Looks like Baraka. Boom. Nice. More space for pregnant belly? Exactly. By the way. No joke, I literally thought about that. Point is to make shit disgusting, so we're making shit disgusting. Hell yeah, brother. Trypophobia alert. Are you ready, guys? You know what it is. I don't think you guys ready. I do not think you're ready. We don't know what the fuck's inside demons, so... maybe it's his digestive tract. you know? I have to work around the Twitch guidelines. How can I stay serious while modeling that? Brother, if you knew how many VJJs I have modeled in my day. Alright. Like a crying lion face. I kind of see it. I see it. I see it. It has a hint of a funny stone faces. What's a funny stone face? Don't think I'm familiar with the chat lore. Google oof stone faces. Oh. Fair enough. Okay, how do I color and or like that. That seems more fucked up. Looks like a tongue sticking out. Suspiciously close to the glory hole. Not a glory hole. The whispering eye. Okay? Get this shit straight. Crying lion behind bone cage. Exactly. It looks fucked. I love it. Saving it. Music's died. What happened? Uh. By the way, have you guys been watching The Rings of Power? Curious to see what you guys thought. No? Oh well. God damn it. Yes, but with disgust. Yeah. It was a little... Not a little, but yeah. Something else. Did you watch both seasons? I actually thought season 2 was much better than season 1. But holy shit. Still. The fact that they can't use certain things because of the copyright issues. And the way they play around it. And just like unable to fucking do it in the right way. And not having enough IQ to realize how to do it without having the rights. It's such a fucking... Like the way they showed Bombadil. Oh my god, that was the worst, man. Ugh. Ugh. So they do not, yeah, they have Lord of the Rings license, but they do not have the license to Silmarillion. And basically everything that happens in the Rings of Power is based on the Silmarillion or the appendices of Tolkien. And not the actual Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit books. Because it's the prequel, right? But they're just fucking up with like actual lore in some parts, and also the time frames, and also like taking some liberties on certain things that just are so bizarre, you know? Like, to the last moment, I was hoping that the fucking stranger is not Gandalf, because it would not make any sense. The time frames, they just do not make any sense. The Astari, or the wizards, arrive to Middle-earth way later than... way after the fall of Numenor or the return of Sauron in Second Age. It just happens so much later in Silmarillion. But hey, speaking of which, hello, mate. And yeah, and I was like holding out until the last episode that fuck, maybe he's one of the blue wizards, because that would make more sense. And also, who the fuck, if he's Gandalf, then who the fuck is the bad wizard or the evil wizard? And if the evil wizard is Saruman, then that makes absolute zero fucking sense as well, because Saruman only switched allegiances and became evil in the Third Age during the Lord of the Rings. He was not evil before then, ever. Also, he was not the first one to arrive in Middle-earth. He, in fact, was the last to arrive at Middle-earth. So I was like holding the hope out that maybe the stranger is one of the blue wizards and the evil wizard is another blue wizard. And somehow he was just like turned to evil for the time being, and when he meets with another blue wizard, he somehow like you know, turns to the light side again. But fuck, who knows at this point. But now we know that the guy is actually Gandalf. I don't know. All IPs are not about making content, but about making money at the cost of the shared content. I disagree. If it's done right, it will actually bring studios more profit because people will like it and people will watch it more. And all the top grossing movies are literally the proof to that. Shit movies or shit TV shows are shit for a reason, and they flop for a reason because they're garbage. But if the movies or the TV shows are done well and are great, case in point, I don't know, Avatar movies or the Lord of the Ring movies or fucking the latest Deadpool movie, Titanic, fantastic movies. Done well, done right, you know? Or actually, a recent example that's literally the exact opposite of Rings of Power that's going on right now is the House of the Dragon. Completely different show to the Rings of Power if we're talking about prequels to the main show or to the main IP. The House of the Dragon is so well made, it's so good, it's like, it's on par with actual Game of Thrones. And so that IP still makes sense, still makes the money, and it's good. So you can definitely have both, you know. You can have best of both worlds. See you, Moso. Have a good one. They make shit content to make money and don't care that it's shit because money. Whereas if good content was first, we wouldn't have most of shit stuff. I don't know if I agree with that because they obviously they care about money more. All studios are, but the studio executives are not the ones making the film, so if it's the showrunners or directors, right, that are in charge of creative vision of the project. And yes, like the suits give it a green light at the end of the day, but they give it a green light in the beginning of the process, not after it have come out. So it's predominantly mostly on the creators. Like whether they are creative enough, do they have the creative chops to pull it off or not? Like Peter Jackson had the perfect vision and the perfect capability to pull it off. And he did. And these clowns that run Rings of Power right now, they don't. But I think it's a matter of pride now for for Amazon because they spent over $1 billion of budget on the show. So now they're like, even if they flop with first 2 seasons, they can just continue doing it just because it's Amazon, you know, and they can, and they don't really care. It's like fucking Bezos's kind of passion project or whatever. Because by now, they absolutely know that the product is shite. Because it's all over social media, all over the internet. There's like very, 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 very little positive reviews of the show. And they're still making it, and they still didn't cancel for the 3rd season. I think they're still making the 3rd season. Unless they get someone else on board with like better vision, then it's just gonna continue in the same vein. Poorly executed, poor quality. But they have the might of Amazon behind them, so what the fuck do they care? Yeah, it's like, we have the money, and we're just gonna keep spending it. Because before they release the project, they don't know that they're gonna lose money or not, right? They always kind of like just estimate it and base it on the market, whether people are interested in the IP or not. That's how they begin the projects to begin with, right? Like, they look at the IP and they're like, oh shit, this is popular right now. Let's capitalize on that. This should bring us money because it's popular, but then the end result is garbage, and it's actually not because the IP is popular that it brings money. It's because the original project or original reference was well made and good. That's why it brought money, and that's why it became popular to begin with. Viewbotters use hacked devices to create views. So there's a good chance if you enter a website, your device becomes a viewbot. So I'm sure they can also use servers running thousands of streams. Yeah, I don't know exactly how viewbotting works. I thought that they kind of like banned viewbotting on Twitch a while back. Is it still a thing? I don't know. It's never gonna stop, I guess. Man, I've never played Baldur's Gate 3, but their OST is so fire. I love. By the river. You wanna look into getting a different browser? Man, me too, man. I was, the other day I was thinking about it, actually. Google finally removed the one ad blocker that works on YouTube. Oh, I'm just, yeah, YouTube is garbage with ads. It forced me to get premium because it's just so much easier. I just figured, you know what, like 90% of my media consumption is YouTube. I was like, man, kind of maybe worth the money since I'm watching it so much. Dude, this is so much better. Holy shit, look at this baby boy. Oh shit. With the Chistussy in there. Now we got the spikes going. In my own interpretation. Now we can start at, like, now we have a style going on, right? So now I can start maybe creating these sacks of spikes around here, around the shoulders, so that we get the spikes there too. Nice. I like it. Hire me, GGG. What are you doing? Come on. Not a lot left. I just need to add some spikes around the shoulders. Maybe something with the elbows. And then we just need to pose them. And I think we're Gucci. Don't really need much more detailing on it because it is going to be a statue, so we'll see.